And guys, what is going on? This is the Club of the Man 1993 coming at you for the Go Home show for the live review of, my live review of NXT for the January 24th, 2018 edition, the Go Home show before NXT TakeOver Philadelphia this Saturday night at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, which is going to be pretty darn awesome. I'm going to be watching it by myself here at the house. I will be ordering some wings also, so it's going to be my own little mini party, I'd say, in my house by myself. But that is fine completely. We're going to, just talk about this show quick. For overall, good go-home show, I'd say. Very strong go-home show for TakeOver Philadelphia, as I'm hoping it, just blows the Royal Rumble pay-per-view out of the water. The Royal Rumble could be good pay-per-view, but they haven't really had much build going into it. But sometimes they've had pay-per-views that, didn't have good build going into it, but it capitalized at the end. So we will see what happens. But let's talk about this week's episode of NXT. And we had a lot of good things coming into the show. It was mainly, hyping us up for what happened on Saturday. We had a couple random matches in there. We had the TM61, and we had an awesome main event, a match that I had called weeks ago, saying it needs to happen to give Johnny Gargano that one last boost of energy, and to also give his opponent some more momentum going forward, even like make him look strong again, look strong in a loss. But that's what was accomplished tonight as well. They didn't capitalize, though, unfortunately, on a stipulation that my friend Robbie Kenobi was hoping would be added to. But you never know; they could add it in on Saturday, or it could be somewhere further down the line. So we'll see what happens as we now get into this review. So let's get started. Again, this took place again at the Atlanta Center Stage Theater in Atlanta, Georgia. Again. We start off a little bit of a promo from the Velveteen Dream, Johnny Gargano's opponent tonight. As I said a few weeks ago, I would like to see this match happen because the Velveteen Dream was written off TV and was not able to appear in his scheduled match for the qualifying match for the number one contenders fatal four-way match against Cassius Ohno, since Johnny Gargano replaced him. The Dream went after Gargano, and from the doubters, pushed Johnny Gargano over the edge to put his number one contendership on the line against the Velveteen Dream. He agreed to do so. So he wanted to silence his doubters. So the Velveteen Dream opens up, and he called for the ambience, atmosphere, and illumination, the purple smoke and whatnot around him. He says that everyone dreams of becoming NXT champion, but they all walk different paths. Johnny Gargano's dream of becoming a champ, and he doesn't doubt that he will be one day, but that day is not now, not when he's around. Johnny Gargano's path was full of doubt, while Velveteen Dream's experience was pure. Either way, one dream ends tonight. Hype it up for our main event. So the first match we had was No Way Jose, the returning No Way Jose. As well, for me, I just saw No Way Jose about 2 months ago when I went to NXT Live in Pittsburgh. He wrestled in a pretty good match against Lars Sullivan. But he hadn't been seen on TV, I believe, since he wrestled in the show of dark matches that usually airs right after the first NXT after a takeover. He wrestled against Lars Sullivan there also, but we had not seen No Way Jose since. I'm not sure why he was kept off TV for so long, but he made his return to TV, and he took on Cesar Bononi, who's only known for getting that one lucky victory over Andrade Cien Almas last year. Match head wasn't too bad. It was just a match to give No Way Jose welcome back and some momentum going forward. I don't know what they're going to do with him at all. He wins by hitting that pop up punch. Pretty much, he winds like he's throwing a baseball. He tosses up in the air and then pow, punches him right in the face. So this way to give Jose some momentum going forward. I still have heard rumors here and there that he may get called up to the main roster this year, which I just don't think he really did much at all down at NXT. And I feel like if he got called up, he would get lost in the shuffle. So, I mean, it would suck if he did this early, but we'll see what happens. But he defeated Cesar Bononi. Though he had to say video package, getting us hyped up for the Extreme Rules match at NXT TakeOver Philadelphia between Adam Cole and Aleister Black, just building up their rivalry, starting from the qualifying match of Fatal 4-Way when Black won the match after at the Fatal 4-Way, the Undisputed Era came out and attacked Aleister Black to cost him pretty much his spot. So then he was getting another match against Cole, and then they made an Extreme Rules match, and they say Philadelphia has this history of being extreme, so it's gonna be a very good match. Could be a match of the year contender, in my opinion. I'm so excited, looking forward to it. Once again, also, if you didn't get to check out my 30-day challenge yet, Aleister Black is my current favorite NXT wrestler. So that package was pretty good. I liked. Then we had a match with Bianca Belair taking on Latoya Alsop. It was more so just, a squash match for just Bianca Belair to give her some momentum. I do like the potential in Bianca Belair. I think one day she'll make a great NXT Women's Champion. They give her the shot at maybe by the end of the year, I'd say. Who knows? I don't know who with Shayna Baszler and Kairi Sane around. I feel like it might be tough for her now, but maybe she'll win it next year or whatnot also. But I definitely don't think she's gonna be up on the main roster anytime soon. She could, I could possibly see it being just a surprise entrant in a Royal Rumble match to give some Mae Young Classic winners or contenders in there as well. But we'll see what happens there. But this match was pretty good. Of course, she used that hair strike as well on Alsop, whatever her name was, on her. I'm just amazed at how thick her hair is and how she can possibly do something like that. Makes it deadly and makes her unique as well. But she gets the win here, hitting her with a reverse power bomb. So a good match there. We then had this interview between Ember Moon and her opponent at TakeOver Philadelphia, Shayna Baszler, who has been around us for a couple weeks now, but she's came in there and she's just started bullying everybody to no end. She hurt Dakota Kai a few weeks ago. She's just there to hurt people pretty much and just make a huge statement pretty much. Percy Watson was the interviewer, and he asked why did Ember call out Shayna, and Moon says that Shayna's attacks and calls people, and I mean, Shayna's attacked a bunch of people and she called her a bully. She asked if Shayna Baszler was trying to compensate for something, if she's afraid of the women's roster. Baszler says that to catch up the big fish, you have to stir up the water, and Ember Moon is the big fish around here. And Ember says that there's responsibility for being the champion and standards of sportsmanship and honor. She knew what Shayna was doing, and while she might get to the top someday, it won't be Saturday. And Shayna gives a champ props for her journey getting to the top, but says there's a difference between her and Moon, and is that she doesn't care whether anyone knows the path she took. They both stand for the stare down, and Watson asks if there's anything that Baszler wants the NXT universe to know about her, and she doesn't care at all what they think. She's just going to have to deal with it pretty much. So she means business. She's there to win championships. She's there to make statements in the women's division as well. And she does mean business in there. So I think it's good. We're going to see a pretty good match between Baszler and Moon this coming Saturday. For a prediction, I'm still thinking about, but I will share it in my top 10 topics video, which I will film sometime after I do this live stream. So we had that happen there, and then we had part 2 of the TM61 series. There were they talk about where Shane Thorne got hurt in a match against Roderick Strong and Austin Aries during the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. So maybe just Roderick Strong since Austin Aries got hurt. He hurt his knee during that match. He went on to still work in the finals at TakeOver against AOP. And that's when they faced the Revival. That's when they were written off of television. They sold the injury very well. And then Miller said that it was up until now in WWE, they've been trying to be something they're not. He'd hate for fans to only know that as they've been here. They both talk about their old name catchphrases, the mighty don't kneel, enough that you think they might be going back to the name, but it's not to be. In the end, we get clips of Harley Race putting them over as they vowed to win the tag titles today, and Nigel tell us that they'll be in the ring next week, which is one of the dark matches in Philly. So TM61 is making their in-ring return next week after being out for pretty much all 2017, pretty much, which I'm still going to predict right now. The Undisputed Era win the tag team titles at retain the titles on Saturday at TakeOver Philly, and will defend them against TM61 at TakeOver New Orleans. That's my long-term prediction for the tag team picture here in NXT. Speaking of which, we had AOP taking on just a couple random jobbers, and they just attacked them, and they cut a promo just warning Undisputed Era that'll be happening to them on Saturday, and they hit the Super Collider, and Paul Ellering just endorsed them pretty much. So we had that, just give them some momentum going into Saturday as well. Then we had it was announced next week that since Lacey Evans called out Nikki Cross last week, they'll face off in next week's show, which is again the dark matches pretty much. Usually that show to me doesn't really matter too much. I don't usually review that show unless anything good happens. I won't be doing a live review of NXT next week, but I will be doing a live review for TakeOver Philadelphia on Saturday night. But that was the hype for next week, and also that the in-ring return of TM61 is on the horizon for next week. So we'll be in that. And we had our main event. Johnny Gargano versus the Velveteen Dream, with Gargano's #1 contendership on the line. Fun match. I loved it. Was it as good as Aleister Black and Velveteen Dream? Not as good as expected. It's not a pay-per-view match, but I thought this is a good match. Two guys with similar styles. Velveteen Dream expressing more of his mind games and how great he is mentally, just fooling around with his opponents and whatnot. These two just worked. I thought gelled very well together. Put on a great match. Made Velveteen Dream look strong as well. But, just the emotional side of it, the Johnny Gargano, just trying to find, the weaknesses to pull out of the Velveteen Dream to defeat him. He kicked out of a very big, I don't know if it was a Death Valley driver from the top rope, but he hit he hit some big avalanche move on Dream hit the Death Valley driver from the second rope, but he kicked out of it literally at the last 10th of a second. And then but they said he'd been out with injury, so he was really selling his injured left arm, which is a stronger arm. So he goes to do the purple rainmaker, which I really like, because he always gets a lot of height on the elbow drop with the right arm. But Gargano puts his knees up and blocks him, and then he would, I think, spear him and then get Dream into his finishing submission, the Gargano escape, or whatever he calls the match, he gets Velveteen Dream to kick out. To tap out, because it was on the injured arm for Velveteen Dream. So it was an awesome match. Again, Gargano wins to keep his #1 contendership. This gives a last boost of momentum going into his match on Saturday against Andrade Cien Almas for the NXT Championship. Will we see Tommaso Ciampa show up? Not sure yet. Again, I'll talk about that in my top 10 topics video. But after the match, Andrade Cien Almas came out. That's where I thought they were going to add the stipulation of, Johnny's career is going to be on the line. But they didn't, but it's okay. It's going to be an awesome match on Saturday. I can't wait for it. But Almas and Vega came out, and both Vega and Almas laugh at off the threat of Gargano. And then they go to fight each other. Almost beats him down, throws him to the floor, and of course, but then Johnny would climb back into the ring, and he would attack Almas and nail him with a slingshot DDT. Of course, Zelina Vega just starts freaking out the side. First time she's actually panicking, and then Gargano, the crowd is pretty much telling Johnny to touch the bell, pretty much, and he just reaches down and he picks up the bell, looks at it, and puts a mirror saying he's going to be the next NXT champion. And that's how we go off the air. So next, there's nothing further to do but go on to take over Philadelphia. So again, it was a really strong show. I felt had a couple random matches in there to give some people some momentum moving forward as well, like Bianca Belair, No Way Jose. We had the great building, talking about our 4 matches confirmed as of now. I'm not sure we'll get a 5th one. We usually do have 5 matches. Something to do with Lars Sullivan. He's going to be facing Roderick Strong, or he's going to be facing Killian Dane, one of the two. But yeah, it was a really strong go home show, I felt. So I'll give this week's episode of NXT a B+. Strong show. It wasn't the most didn't look like the world completely on fire, but it was still a very strong show. I enjoyed it. What grade would you give this week's episode of NXT? Leave your thoughts down in the comments section below. And as always, remember to click that like and subscribe where we're trying to get my channel. Follow me on Twitter at DemandAirboy93. So after this, I'm going to set the green screen for the first time in a month. I will do a turn alert on Goldust. I think it's just time to say he's a face, but it's not going to be that much of a video at all. And also, I will do my top 10 topics show for the month of January, lead up to the Royal Rumble Takeover Philadelphia. So yeah, with that, guys, I will see you all later. So stay tuned for those videos, and then stay tuned for my live reviews of Takeover Philadelphia and the Royal Rumble this coming weekend, followed by Raw, SmackDown, maybe NXT next week. Not sure yet, but this will also start back up the season 3 of Road to WrestleMania, the Club of the Man 1993. So thank you guys again for tuning in. I'm checking out here as always. So till then, guys, have a good night.